Welcome to Scripture and Spirit. It's Margaret here again. Last time on this Bible study, we looked at Genesis chapter 1 from verse 1 to 5, where God made the heavens and the earth. And we talked about how the Spirit of God was hovering over the surface of the waters, despite the fact that the earth and the heavens were empty and there was no shape at all. And we saw how God separated light from darkness, how God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And we made reference to our lives, how God is always present, always there for us, irrespective of whatever chaos, whatever darkness we may be facing in our lives. God is always present. We will continue to explore how God did this amazing work of creating the heavens and the earth. I'll read from verse 6. And God said, "Let there be an expanse between the waters to separate water from water." So God made the expanse and separated the water under the expanse from the water above it. And it was so. God called the expanse sky, and there was evening, and there was morning, the second day. If we look at this passage, it really amazes me. You know, there is a popular story in the Bible that we're all familiar with about how God parted the sea for the Israelites to go through when they were being pursued by the Egyptians in Exodus chapter 14. When I was preparing for this Bible study, something really stood out to me. Like how God separated waters from waters. Yes, God parted water for the Israelites, but that seems to me like a tip of the iceberg. God has got it all planned out. It is the most powerful. Consider separating water from the ground, lifting it up above into the sky, and having this space, this vast space, where we go and we work and we live and we travel from countries to country. I'm reading from verse 9 now. And God said, "Let the water under the sky be gathered to one place, and let dry ground appear." And it was so. God called the dry ground land, and the gathered waters he called seas. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, "Let the land produce vegetation, seed-bearing plants, and trees on the land that bear fruit, with seed in it, according to their various kinds." And it was so. The Lord produced vegetation, plants bearing seed according to their kinds, in trees bearing fruit with seed in it according to their kinds. And God saw that it was good. And there was evening, and there was morning, the third day. Now look at this amazing work. Now we have dry land where we can say, "Oh, that is my portion of land. I'm buying the land, I'm building a house on it." That is possible because God moved waters apart. He parted waters. He gave us dry land. And then we have food, vegetations, and plants. And he suspended some water up above the sky that rains upon the food. So I continue to read from verse 14. And God said, "Let there be lights in the expanse of the sky to separate the day from the night, and let them serve as signs to mark seasons and days and years. And let them be lights into the expanse of the sky to give light to the earth." And it was so. God made two great lights, the great light to govern the day, and the lesser light to govern the night. He also made the stars, God set them in the expanse of the sky to give light on the earth, to govern the day and night, and to separate light from darkness. And God saw that it was good. And there was evening, and there was morning, the fourth day. We will stop reading from here today, but the key point that I want us to consider again from this passage is the fact that God made everything in order. God first separated the waters, then we have the sky, and then we have the sea. And then God made sure that there was dry land, and then He spoke for vegetations and plants to come upon the dry land. And what happens after that? In God made sure that there was light in the sky. And now we have the bigger light, we have the smaller lights, we have stars, different lights for different purposes. Why is there a night that is dark? Why did God just remove the darkness completely, like the dark night, like make everything just bright? Because there is a reason, there is a purpose behind everything that God has done. At night, what do? We settle down, we rest from the day work. And if as we go on and read, we will realize that even God rested from His work. And the dark night also represents something. There will be time that the light is not as bright as some other days where you have really bright, beautiful light. It's like in our lives. There are times in our lives where everything just goes smoothly. Everything is perfect. We are enjoying the time of our lives. And there are times that are not as bright. There are times that we only have the stars, so we have like a glimpse of light here and there. But God is still in the midst of all of that. God still is in charge of even that time. And we do need that. Consider the fact that you need to lay down and rest at night. These are time for us to be at peace, to be still, and let God do His perfect work. Look at how your body heals when you lie down to sleep. How your body go through everything it needs to go through to restore you back to health. So that you wake up in the morning, you are energized and renewed. Well, if you have a good sleep. But it is the same. God is at work when we are going through the dark times, or when we have the glimpse of light. God is still working. And that time, it doesn't matter. It might be a stage of preparation. It might be a time of waiting. It might be different stages of our lives. It might be a time of growth and to be prepared for the greater light that is coming, the brightness, the day, where we showcase all the great things that God has done in our lives. So in a time of quietness, when it's dark and you only see the glimpse of light, let's still keep trusting and keep waiting and rest. Just rest and let God do His perfect work, like we will do at night when we sleep. Let us just rest and let God take charge. Let God take control. And the bright light will come, the sun, and the glory will show forth when God has prepared us. He has done His perfect work. And I pray that as we continue to explore the great work, the marvelous work that God has done, orderly to make this world that we live in, we continue to know Him more, to love Him more, to glorify Him.